Empresarios is growing faster than we ever imagined. What started as a vision to kind of just lift our Mexican-American business community has now become a movement. You know, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a place where leaders sharpen leaders. As Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another.
I think that's the fascinating part about the community is that as Mexican-Americans, there's just a lot of resilience and determination that's just kind of already embedded in our bloodline. That's what I love about meeting new people in the Empresarios community is the fact that everybody has that struggle story. They started from nothing or they had it all and then they lost it, but it's just a lot of resilience that just comes behind it. And I don't know anybody so far in the community that's come from money. Like, no, my parents were in the trenches, in the fields or something like that, trying to...
That builds character.
I still call them failures.
No, they are, but I'm
even
saying,
though
like,
we didn't fail, I call them failures.
But let's describe what it is. It was a failed partnership. If you have three people and each individual takes care of a certain task or a certain department,
takes on a certain role.
If somebody is missing and that person is just incapable of that, you find out after some time. It's the partnership that failed. It's not so much the vision, because the vision could have carried on.
I would say it's a little disheartening to say in the Mexican-American business community, we work so hard. We're grinding along. We're moving forward. But when you ask somebody, hey, year to date, like, where's your gross revenue at? I don't know. Again, but you can't hit what you don't measure. So you got to know where you are, right? And this is just a hobby for you. You know, this is like playing baseball, something you do for fun. And I get it. We all like what we do, but I think it's a lot better when you know that you're making money doing it. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to give you a Empresarios community update. Got a lot of amazing things to share with you. And we're also going to break down goal setting for 2026 and what that looks like for you and your business. But before we get started, just want to introduce some of the usual suspects today. Sitting across from me, my business partner of over a decade, and that's not Zadie, no. El Cerebro, aka
Optimized
Prime, Mr. Sal Shakir.
Thank you.
And to my left, Adrian Salgado, aka Born Closer, aka the most tenured team member of our organization, the lone survivor. Mark Wahlberg. Wait a minute. Actually, what was his real name? Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what, bro? Can I say this?
Sure.
Right, I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, actually, it might have been this morning, honestly. I was driving in this morning to the office, and I'm like, man, I still enjoy coming to the office and working and getting to work and just being here in this environment.
It's fun.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I still remember to the day when I first quit my job, you know, what do they say? They say you find a job that you love and you never have to work another day in your life.
So, yep.
Yeah, I feel like
do something you love and you never have. I feel like what you're doing specifically right now, right, it's something that it's just kind of, I would say, biologically embedded in you, you know, like to be talking to people and then, you know, to be problem solving with people. Right. I think that's why you're so good right now at what you do. Right.
It gets me into trouble at home, though.
Why? You get addicted to talking to people?
Well, I just get addicted to problem solving. So if my wife, you know, she wants to come and just vent to me, I'm always thinking of a solution. And she doesn't want a solution. She just wants to hear. She just wants to talk.
Yeah. I thought I was alone.
You know,
that's crazy. Really? That happens?
Yeah. Absolutely, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah. She's like, I just want to talk.
And I'm like, I'm trying to solve the problem faster, so we don't have to spend 2 hours listening to the same thing.
We're not gonna get into your marital challenges and specifics, because I feel like you guys have a very, you know, loving, healthy marriage.
We do.
Just like anybody else for the most part, right? No marriage is perfect, right? But I feel like, you know, sometimes, I don't know, I feel like you guys have this sick kind of like piss each other off and make up type of pattern going on. You guys have to outgrow that at some point.
Do we?
Maybe.
No, they enjoy it. Let's make up.
Maybe they enjoy it 3 p.m.
No, there's
the 3 a.m.
Let me say the 3 a.m.
Yeah.
The 3 p.m. argument.
Where it gets mended
worse
at
than
3 a.m.
I wouldn't even call them argument. It's like, it's not even full-blown arguments.
I don't think he's not following.
He's not right in the way
he's turning into the 3 a.m.s.
I said the 3 p.m. argument What did I say? The 3
They
p.m.
get they get
It's always
mended.
it's always worth the 3 a.m. wrestling match.
That's crazy. Anyway, right? All right. So let's celebrate a couple of wins with the community, because here's what I wrote down. Right, our community, Empresarios, is growing faster than we ever imagined. What started as a vision to kind of just lift our Mexican American business community has now become a movement. A brotherhood, a sisterhood, a place where leaders sharpen leaders, right? And as Proverbs 27:17 says, right? As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another, right? And I feel like that's what's going on in our community. And it's very humbling, very humbling. But I also get a little emotional to think about what's happening in that community. I'll take zero to very little credit, because it's the community members that are who they are, right? Where it's like, I need this, I need that. And then it's like, people are doing business in there. People are hanging out in there. People are networking in there. It's everything that we always wanted since back in the first time we were building a community was around 2018, 2019. But this is it. This is the way that you want to build a community.
Yeah.
Where people are they're so aligned.
Yeah.
Right. They're so aligned, where, it's not about ego or who makes. I mean, have you seen anybody in there talk about?
They don't
money
post.
and,
They don't
yeah,
post
you know what I
any
mean?
of that stuff that we used to see
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah.
I mean, there was one gentleman in there that posted a car and a watch, and immediately I was like, this is not.
Yeah.
Do that on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Like we're more seasoned, right? Battle tested, matured dads, moms, business owners in this community.
Yeah.
We don't care for that,
Yeah.
right? I want to see a picture of you and your kid.
Yeah.
I want to see a picture of you taking your daughter to school,
Or your newest project.
or whatever your newest project,
Yeah.
or you opening up a new office,
Yeah.
right? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
It's like I don't care about all the other stuff. Leave that stuff for the degenerates out there. You know what I mean?
It's like I told you this the other day. It feels like it's like my new social media.
Yeah,
Especially because there's
that
people
is.
on the East Coast. They'll post like early in the morning.
Your new social media? What do you mean?
Yeah, the Empresarios chat.
Oh, that's your new social media.
That's
It
my
kind
new
of is,
social media,
actually. I
yeah.
look at
It's
that more
like
than I
I'm-
look at Instagram.
You kind of scroll.
You're scrolling, you go,
And then I
happened
start to
last
heart
few hours?
everything, right? And then I sometimes reply to something that's kind of massive, Yeah, you're right. That's actually the first
And you
thing.
gotta do it too, because I just saw like you liked something or you replied to something that was like hours out, like or a day old.
Well,
That's
'cause
how,
I'll
like,
catch up.
Yeah, you actually
I'll
you
catch
don't just
up
catch
all
up to the last
24
thing. You
hours.
catch up like to actually.
No,
from the
I
beginning.
catch up all the way
Yeah.
from where I missed, just
Yeah.
to make sure that I don't miss anything.
So that is the feed.
Yeah,
Bro,
it is
look
my
at
feed.
Adrian's like you're like a wise monk.
He has become one,
Yeah.
right? But here's some of the things that I want to discuss. Right, I know that we're over 100 members.
Yes.
And it's growing really fast, right? I would say the engagement in there is beautiful. The support system in there is beautiful. I feel like there's community over ego. There's definitely a lot of legacy plays being made in there. And there's a lot of alignment. A lot of spiritual alignment specifically, if you think about it, right? Which is a beautiful thing, because when we set out Empresarios, it wasn't like, hey guys, this is a Christian movement, right? But it's like you attract what you are, right? What you resonate with.
It's not even that, right? Because I know I know for a fact there's people that practice Catholicism in there as well too, and so what it actually does, it blurs the line with religion, and it keeps everybody faithful to God. That's where it stems from, right?
Mhm.
Everybody has that same mentality of like the all-in model, right? It's God, family, hustle, and that's what everybody preaches in that whole community.
Yeah, what was fascinating and fulfilling this past event that we threw out in Orange County, right? I know there was a reel of you and Kevin Sanchez, who is about 22 years old or something. Is he 22?
I believe he's 22 and he's a father too. He has a
22
child.
years old, but some of these young Mexican American business owners are more mature than a lot of people out there, if you think about it,
The
right?
guy we just talked to today, he's only 30 years old.
And that guy has like a $10 million a year company.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you do? What do what do you do? Oh, bro, we're good at manufacturing trailers and we're good at sales. we don't know what's going on.
We just make money.
He's like, check it out. He's like, check out my spot. And he has this huge like yard of just trailer over trailer. And then Adrian's like, hey, would you ever expand to California? He's like, no, I don't think I can. And I said, why is that? Right? He's like, well, I don't know. Like, he's like, I really don't know what's going on as it is here in my own backyard. Right? I go, so listen, I said, I would say 70% or more of our community is California based. I said, so you're going to sit here and tell me that if someone from the community, either them or someone they refer over, right, ask for a trailer in California, will you sell it to them? He's like, oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I said, I said, brother, this is why, I said, whether it's through us or someone else, you need to structure your business because it's costing you $5 to $10 million in annual gross revenue in 2026 to not structure your business. It's costing you expansion into other markets, into other states to not structure your business. I said, brother, whether you do it with us or someone else, you need this. You got to get this done.
Well, another thing is costing him is time.
Yeah,
because you could do the same $10 million with less time, or do the same time that you're spending right now and add five extra million.
Well, even on that, right? Once again, getting into a lot of the Empresarios community, right? It's husbands and wives that are in here, and some of the wives are prepared to be retired. They don't want to be working in the business anymore, and that's kind of the situation with him. He was like, my wife is working at the office. I'm working here. We have 4 kids, but she wants to be a stay-at-home mom.
See?
They have a 12-year-old all the way down to a 1-year-old. I was like,
when you're making that kind of money, Sal, the only reason you're not hiring is because you don't know who to hire, and you don't know what to hire for.
Yeah.
When you're making that kind of money, think about it, right?
Yeah.
You can literally begin to start, departmentalizing and
structuring
and
comes
positioning.
first, then positions comes after. But the problem is that most business owners don't really know how to structure, and the structuring requires the individuals after.
What's fun? What's fun about over the years it's funny how it all worked out so far. Praise God, right? Remember back in the day, like you had a car dealership, and as you say, I was flipping merch. Right, but now that I told you the story,
it was.
Right?
I think it's just a funny thing.
I was like, yeah, bro,
thing.
You know what he says? He's like, yeah, I found Carlos flipping hats. I said, wait.
I remember the hats, bro.
Yeah.
What did they?
Yeah.
Coincidentally, what did they used to say?
Privilegio. That was for another artist called Alfredo Olivas, another big star in the Mexican.
I didn't know that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't just flipping hats at the Swami,
bro.
He was flipping hats at the Swami to the Mexican community.
I was flipping hats.
My intention is
big
just to
boy
be funny with
Mexican
it
artist.
because I'm like, I can't see Carlos flipping clothing. I'm like, I saw him as like doing something.
No, brother.
different.
You want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Right. So back in the day, I think this might have been like 2011 or 2012 or something.
Yeah.
Right? Might have been 2012. There was a young man out of Tucson. And his name was Luis Coronel. He had this huge single. He was a young man, maybe like 16, 17 years old, and he had a song called
Justin Bieber of Mexico.
Yeah, he was like they used to call him the Justin Bieber of the Mexican regional music.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So I just happened to stumble on. I'm like, I knew the manager that discovered him in Tucson.
Yeah.
Right, and I saw them working, and I saw them making money, and I saw them touring. They were touring like the entire Southwest region, right? And I asked the manager, who was a good friend of mine. I said, "Hey," I said, "Are you when you're touring, you're not selling merchandise?" Think about it, right? I'm like, "Hello," right? I was like, "No." I was like, well, "What are you guys doing?" "Nothing. We just show up. We do our set, we sing, and then we go on to the next town." I said, "Bro, or how would you say that? Bro." I was like, "Hey, if I put together like a whole, like merch catalog, right, of shirts and hats and
Hoodies
and for females and men, and like, would you are you down to do it, right?" And sure thing, bro. Guess what? We opened up a something cartel or something store where it was
I know what you're talking about.
Big
that was
cartel.
bad.
Big cartel.
Big cartel,
We opened up
yeah.
a big cartel. Bro, I remember, I think we made over 30 grand the first month. You know what I was doing? So I did all the, yeah, I done screen printing. Yes, Mr. Godfrey. That's why I tell you, like, you need to get out of that business, because I've done it. I've done screen printing. I've done embroidery on the hats, on the shirts, right? And don't get me wrong, the margins were 15 to 25%, you know, but again, my ticket was this young man.
It would have been volume.
Oh, bro, I mean, how much in merchandise do you think the guy was selling, right? Like,
And probably you can charge premium with
oh
somebody
no,
who's
so
that.
it started with I was going to keep 30% of all merchandise sales.
Nice.
Yeah, that's and guess what, right? What's 30%? What's
Oh,
30?
gross or net?
Gross.
Wow.
What's
Dude.
30% of 30% of 30,000?
That's almost 10 grand.
Okay,
That's almost,
there you go.
like
Hey,
almost,
not a
9
not
grand.
not a bad first month, right? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I was doing.
Thank God that didn't work out.
And then
Yeah.
here's a lesson. You're right. I'll tell you what. I do thank God up to this moment, and I'll tell you why. Because who knows what the trajectory of my life would have been. Because when you're in the music industry, what's in the music industry, right?
Drinking, drugs.
There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot
women,
of drinking. There's a lot of womanizing and lust, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot
Not a
of
lot of
ego,
family
a lot of
time.
ego.
Not a
What'd
lot
you
of
say?
family time. for
No,
sure.
absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not. Right. So I wouldn't consider that a calling.
Maybe you and your wife.
We wouldn't have worked
yeah.
out. I wouldn't have had my beautiful daughter. So the trajectory of my life, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And guess
All
what?
happened with flipping a car.
And then I met you. And then I met. But watch this. Ready? So I always. By the way, every single business owner that's listening right now, right? Anytime that you're going to go into any type of business venture or partnership, documentation beats conversation.
Yeah.
Guess what? I printed everything you can think of, bro. By the way, I have thousands of dollars worth of shirts and hats in my garage. I don't know why I haven't burned them yet.
From the same.
From the same guy. You have to understand, bro.
Oh my God.
Everybody talks about failures, right? And
Yeah.
failures can come in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Well, imagine this. Imagine you launch you know what I was doing at my job? After hours, I would stay home and I would use the Dymo label. I would go get the white packages from the US Postal Service, the ones that you can't.
Yep.
And I'm putting the shirts in there and I'm Dymo labeling it and I'm shipping it to Philly and North Carolina and Texas. Bro, I'm doing this all month long. And when they saw me do this, right? It definitely was. I wouldn't say that my friend is the one that screwed me over, but they sold the rights, or they partner up with a bigger company called Empire Productions, right? And then they saw what I was doing, because when you're going to acquire or merge whatever they were doing, they're like, oh, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. They're like, who's that? Right? What's this and who's that?
Why is he taking 30%?
Yeah, what's this and who's that? Right? And they're like, oh, this is my friend. And he came up with this whole idea that we should sell merchandise when we're touring. Well, I mean, imagine, right? Like, they already know all that, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, we're not going to need him anymore. Let him know. And that was the end of that first
That's why you're saying
yeah.
documentation.
So again, documentation beats conversation. Here's what would have happened. If I would have drew up the proper documents with the primary company, right? The primary company and the primary artist, that would have had to transfer with the new agreement.
Yeah, an equity.
Yeah,
agreement.
royalties too. That
Yep.
probably would carry
And then
it
guess
over.
what? I don't care if you use me or not. Give me my money.
Well, it's your idea. It was your idea. So
Yeah.
you brought it to the table.
Yeah.
You got it off the ground.
I've had a
It
lot
made
of failed
money.
ventures. Here's the point that I'm making. I've had a lot of failed ventures, okay? And for every business owner out there that's watching and listening, did you know that I was going to launch a digital agency for Mexican Americans back in the mid 2000s called Visión Innovativa, which means innovative vision, because I saw a lot of Mexican American business owners across this entire state and the country that didn't even have websites or logos or nothing.
And that was like the beginning of.
Oh,
like, what-
bro. I mean, we're talking 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
I think it's still highly common.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was gonna launch a company called Visión Innovativa, which I was already talking to the Filibertos, and they didn't have an online menu, and they like out of the 300 that exist, there's like one that has a website. You know what I mean? And then like all their locations wasn't there. So again, that was another venture that failed. I actually ended up getting screwed out of that one. That they gave me back my equity in that company, and they took off with it.
So it's still active.
What would you recommend?
I believe it's still active.
Wow.
What would you recommend for that process, right? Because it sounds like for you were just jumping on and you see an opportunity and you started running with it.
I'm a visionary, bro.
You're a visionary.
You know? Yeah, I'm a visionary.
Right? There's a lot of people out there that have that same ambition, same drive, but how do they protect themselves? Like,
Man,
what would you recommend?
I'll tell you. Do for yourself what we're doing for our community now, where we say, hey, no, don't buy a business. Don't buy that piece of land. Don't develop that land unless we take a look at it.
And don't partner up just for like most people partner up just randomly. We have that segment we talk about partnering up, and most of the time people collaborate. Like Carlos, you partnered up technically with those people.
I did.
And let's say you even drew a contract and everything, but
no, there was no contract.
No, let's say you did.
Yeah.
And your vision did not align. What would happen? Eventually, like paperwork or not, it would have eventually ended. Right?
They bought me out of that company for $9,000.
For 1 month. 1 month.
No. I'm talking about the digital, the Mexican American business digital agency.
So they actually
he gave me back the money, and I was like, why is he? It's simple. Here's the way that he positioned it. I remember we met downtown. And the way that he positioned was like, hey, man, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be really able to do this, man. You know, I got this, I got that, and this and that. And then he goes, why don't I just buy you out? And I was like, yeah.
So he dangled a really
he's like,
pretty
hey, bro, he's
carrot.
like, you invested what, $3,500? He's like, let me give you $9,000. I'm like, buy me out. Yeah, give me the $9,000, right? And then guess what? I mean, you could have sold a website back then for $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000.
Well, the Filibertos.
That's what I'm saying. So,
thing would have
brother, I can't tell you, Sal, how many times over and over and over and over I have failed at so many businesses. But
failure
I have learned.
Is what makes. There's a reason why you succeed at businesses because you failed at others. And
by the time you launched your car dealership, I had already failed.
Yeah.
I had already failed royally.
Yeah.
At a couple of big shots that I took.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's how about this?
He had a 6-figure exit.
I had a
four-figure
exit.
4-figure exit.
I had a 4-figure exit. That's the only exit I've ever had. Right?
It's an exit.
It is an exit, right? So check this out. What about when you and I failed our import-export company?
Inventory City, yeah.
We had a location. We had a strategic partner from overseas, right? And it wasn't like the place wasn't making money. It was making like $12,000 a month. Yeah. Right? In the first 3 months, it was making $12,000 a month. And then,
but that was because of partnership. It failed because the strategic partner that we partnered up with,
he left.
He had no strategy.
What he was doing, he had no. Well, no, we were helping with the strategy, but he was supposed to run it, and he ended up going to Europe and launching
a wine company in Spain.
And we're like, yo, what happened? Yeah, man, it's my passion. Well, I think
okay, bro. What about
the
damn business we have with you?
See, that's partnership. That's
and you know what's crazy, bro? That was one of my high school friends.
Yeah.
And loose high school friends.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't talk to him, even though it's water under the bridge for me. It's water under the bridge for me. Did we take some L's? Yeah, I don't even know how we sold the what is it, the tech that we had in the warehouse. Right? I don't even know how we sold it.
We had a bunch of phones. And
how do we sell it? I don't even know how we sold it. Do you remember?
We liquidated some, and
it was a fire sale, right?
Yeah, it was.
Then you took over the space for real estate, right?
We did. We took it for something. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, okay. How about this? What about the solar companies that we have failed twice now?
Yeah, but those are again.
I still call them failures.
No, they are. But
even though we didn't fail, I call them failures.
But let's describe what it is. It was a failed partnership. If you have 3 people, and each individual takes care of a certain task or a certain department,
takes on a certain role.
if somebody is missing and that person is just incapable of that, you find out after some time,
Yep.
then it's the partnership that failed. It's not so much the vision, because the vision could have carried on
Yeah.
if the work ethic was there and, the
first
business acumen was there too.
The first time we launched Solar Fuse,
Yeah.
that was prime time for solar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prime time, like,
Yeah.
right? And then we launched, obviously, we merged with the company and launched Powervana, right? We merged with Zealous and launched Powervana. And not to get into the depth, because I like those two guys very much. I really do. I love and respect them. But it failed. And I really believe that you and I did on the operational side, everything we had to do, from bringing in resources to strategizing, to marketing, to even like tracking KPIs. And I mean, do you remember, bro,
Structure.
the quarterly meetings we had with them?
The only thing you guys didn't do was the selling.
The only thing we couldn't do was what we expected them to do.
But they were brought in for that side.
Right.
Like that was their whole role.
So I don't blame
manage
them
the
for
sales
nothing,
team.
and I believe that if you calculate our time, right, it was over $700,000 between both of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you calculate our time, and all the money that wasn't made from us,
Yeah.
for us, it was over 700 grand on that. But guess what? We walked away from it. We walked away from it January of this year, without fighting, without, normally if we were sharks, would have been like, no, well, I'm suing you. You owe me this much money, right? But no, we walked away from it because we are pretty focused now on what it is that we want. We're very focused.
What do we want now?
We want to build, well, first of all, number one, real estate and construction, right? Number two, continue to build the community we're building. Number three, I would say create a ecosystem around the community that we're building, right? That serves every single person in every aspect of the community. We want to build community infrastructure by January of 2026, which we're going to talk to different people that have already built infrastructure. I sent you a little bit of a newsletter yesterday. Remember that? Right? So we want to build, and eventually we might dap into what we have always wanted.
Yeah.
Private equity.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there in the Empresarios community, or anybody that's watching or listening, if they're wondering how Sal and I know, the level of business, I'm not even going to say that we're the top honchos in business. I can't say that. I'm sure there's other business people out there that are probably great, but I'll tell you what, I can tell you this, personally, I have over 20 years of business development and under my belt. Sal doesn't just have plenty of years under business development, but he launched his first business in 2009. I launched a couple of businesses before 2009, but they failed pretty miserably, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why we're able to, when it comes to everything you can think of, right here, let me name some things, because we're going to get into goal setting, right? Sure. What are we talking about here? When it comes to revenue, when it comes to, profit and people and systems and leadership, just to name a few of the components that makes up a business, a successful, healthy business. That's why Sal and I know we're not one-trick ponies. We know a lot about a lot of the business holistically. Yeah. Would you agree?
I agree. We failed forward many times.
Yeah,
to say the least.
And you've dissected a lot of businesses as well too.
That's been a blessing.
That's been a blessing.
That's been an absolute blessing, because now we're in, when you're in a solution mode, like fixing mode, you have to backtrack. So by you trying to find a problem where the business owner can't find yet, but you come in and try to find it, and you backtrack everything, you follow the breadcrumbs, you learn so much about that business, and you kind of troubleshoot everything along the way. So you don't just learn what that mistake is or that one thing that you wanted to learn. You learn 10 other things by the time you get there.
Yeah, you have to troubleshoot.
And you add that to your tool belt.
Yeah.
And that's been the blessing. I feel like that has been the biggest blessing for me personally. I can't speak for Carlos, but for me, I think that's been the biggest blessing, because I've seen hundreds of different businesses, and each business has its own way, a unique way of running, or like has its own problems. And to reverse engineer that, I learned 10 things and 10 things.
And guess what? We also learned a bunch of businesses that we would not touch.
Yeah. Because
the what is it? The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many shiny object businesses out there.
Okay. How about this? Do you not remember, respectfully, right, when your brother got into trucking?
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, was like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. My uncle, who owned a dispatch company, a trucking company, a truck,
You mean
a
a
truck stop,
logistics company
logistics,
and
a
trucking.
truck stop, and like everything trucking.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't do it."
See, and he
Don't
made
do it.
He exited, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he exited.
And he said, "Don't do it.
Yeah.
Trust me, do not do it."
There's
my
a lot
dad
of-
owned my dad owned a trucking company that owned I don't know how many trucks, 3 or 4 trucks back in the day when my dad failed. Part of the failure, he had a trucking company as well that was actually the logistics was being handled by my uncle, and it was tough because it was like during the downturn of '08. And that failed miserably as well. So like my dad failed at it. My uncle told him not to do it, and he still went ahead and did it.
I think that's the fascinating part about the community is that, you know, as Mexican Americans, there's just a lot of resilience, right? And determination. That's just kind of already embedded in our bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about meeting new people in the Empresarios community is the fact that everybody has that struggle story that they started from nothing or they had it all and then they lost it. But it's just a lot of resilience that just comes behind it, right? And I don't know anybody so far in the community that's come from money where it's like, yeah, my parents were this, and this, and, you know, they funded me $100,000 to launch my business. It's like, no, my parents were in the trenches, in the fields or something like that, trying to.
And that builds character.
Yeah, and that builds character.
Let me read off a couple of businesses, son. You tell me. Well, I don't know. I don't want to discourage anybody. I was going to read off a list of businesses to see if it would be a green light or a green light or a red light.
Well,
that would be fun.
It's
I don't want
a,
to discourage anybody, but
well,
I know a lot of businesses.
That
I
would be
just
fun
would
if we
not
have
touch.
like if we throw the ball or something like green light, red light, break it.
well, before you get into that, right? It's just a personal opinion, right? It's a personal opinion from you guys, from us, that, like you said, not to discourage people,
it's
but
perspective for
yeah,
sure.
perspective. I mean, there's people out there that have now made it a passion to go pick up dog poop and are making tens of thousands of dollars a month doing that.
Wait, hold on. Someone is passionate about picking up dog shit?
If it's making money,
If
yeah.
it's making you $1 million net,
Yeah, bro, there has to be a little bit of passion behind it.
I'll smell it. I'll tell you what kind of food that dog is having. If it's
Then-
pedigree
Hey, guess
or
what?
blue ribbon or whatever, that blue buffalo, whatever
Guess
it's
what?
called.
And all of a sudden you have another profit center, right? Hey, I'm picking up your dog poop. By the way, it seems like your dog's been pooping a little bit weird. You should probably go to the vet. Now I have a vet on standby that can.
Oh, okay.
get
I
referrals.
see you. I
You
see
this?
you.
It's
Oh,
integrated.
maybe some
you
meal
little
plan.
devil.
Maybe some meal plan there, something like that.
You
Well,
little
there's-
devil. All right, here's some. These are easy. Plumbing company,
yeah,
All day.
green
of
light.
course. Oh my God, of course. The cash conversion cycles for that is almost instant.
HVAC,
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
roofing,
Yes, depends. There's 2 roofings. There's ones that you do. There's
sales
insurance.
org, and
There's
construction.
if you do it as a sales org, then yeah, that's fast cash, but big cash. But if it's insurance money, it takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what net 45 net
Carlos Casas does. He's on the sales. He doesn't do really a lot of
insurance. He
insurance.
doesn't
A lot
do
of
insurance.
insurance,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
interesting, right?
What is it, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Conversion
his
cycle?
cash conversion cycle is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Bless that dude.
how about
Did
this?
you see that thing he put in the chat, by the way?
What?
That he blessed that the cafeteria lady with the
Oh,
new
yeah.
roof
Yeah,
out of
what
his
a
own
blessing.
pocket.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude, man. He's such a good dude. What about solar?
What part of solar?
It's only a
Okay,
sales
solar
organization.
sales, and then there's solar install.
They're both.
I wouldn't touch solar.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm
just-
done. I
yeah.
think I know too much about
I'm
solar.
jaded.
I
Well,
think
check
it's
this
I'm
out.
jaded.
Look,
Yeah.
everything has an opportunity. Now that solar has gone like
South?
a little bit south,
The getting
a
is
new
got-
a
has
new a
begun.
new business model has popped up. There's companies now that are helping clients get out of their solar contracts.
kind of like timeshare.
Timeshares.
Yeah.
There's just always, isn't it crazy? Like something always pops up, right?
Yeah,
Hold
one
on.
door closes and another
Yep.
one opens.
Hold on. Landscaping, hardscaping / turf. Would you?
As long as you do hardscaping with landscape, you can't just do
Hardscape is
landscaping.
where the big money is.
Yeah, if you do landscaping alone, you're gonna
maintenance
be-
is right, like service and maintenance is
Residential.
it gets you through
landscaping.
the door, but most people get through the door with landscaping for something bigger, but they stop, which
Yeah.
is the hardscape.
Well,
is the bigger.
they stop at residential. If you go commercial with
even if-
landscaping,
even if you do residential and you don't do any hardscape, which is like you change backyards and whatnot, then you're stuck at the lowest ticket item. What are you going to charge for removing a tree? A couple $100? What are you going to do for trimming and cleanup? Couple $100? That's all your ticket item. The smaller the ticket item, you can't make profit. But once you become a landscaper and a hardscaper, then $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 jobs come in.
Here's the perfect example. I've been with my landscaping guy, Felipe. Shout out to Felipe, right? For, I don't know, 8 years. 8 years.
Has he raised his prices?
No. I still pay him $400 every month. He comes and he does all my stuff twice.
And you have a huge...
It's an acre.
Yeah,
I live on an acre.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of grass, but God bless him here. First of all, we're not going to sit here and snitch on me. Right?
Hey,
we need to keep the prices down. No, I'm just talking. But here's what I'm saying. Right? Well, here's what I'm saying. If I need hardscaping, which I will at some point to put some stuff together, unfortunately, he doesn't do that.
Yeah, what is, you know what he's going to do? He's going to say, I have a friend. He'll call a friend.
I know, he doesn't do hardscaping.
He won't even probably set up a profit center where a referral program
God
where like,
bless
hey,
him.
if I send you.
I think he's such a great human being, bro. Such a great human being, right? Demolition company.
Yeah,
I would say yes.
I wouldn't.
I would say yes. If you do residential and commercial, heck yeah.
Okay, how about this? Profit margins are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Profit margins are crazy. In most cases, 30 to 60%, right? Demo. But to scale, like revenue-wise to scale, I mean, that's where the magic is.
Yeah, yeah.
You can hire a bunch of guys to demo.
Labor.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could also integrate like a dumpster, like dumpsters as well too, where you could drop dumpsters at other places too.
Yeah.
Like we can do the demo, or we could just drop the dumpster for you.
I think it's a great business model, especially when you have a lot of, like you would do it in areas where you have a lot of remodeling or like a lot of renovation happening. You go to a couple of RIA meetings and you say, hey, I'm the demo guy. And
yeah, bro.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
What about
it's a niche
What
thing.
about junk removal?
You can integrate that into the demo stuff.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of these businesses, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. There are people making multiple 7 figures in junk removal.
Yeah.
Just because we wouldn't want to pursue it doesn't mean that it's not out there. Look at Martin Vargas.
Well, yeah. Look at
Phil
Look at
LeConte.
Phil,
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing good.
I think they said they've reached $1 million in 12 months.
Yep. Electrical.
Oh yeah, all day.
I don't know too much about electrical. I know it's an expensive trade. Like electric, everybody needs electrical. It's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know enough about it.
How about pool?
Yeah, if you're on the hardscape side of the pool, yeah.
You're talking about like pool maintenance.
Building
and maintenance.
Yeah, building. Well, building, yes.
Building would be good, high ticket, but maintenance would be MRR, but that would take a lot of volume.
The only money you make from pool maintenance is if somebody like
replaces their pump,
replace the pump, or replace the the cleaner, and those are still not.
But you talked about this too, like even with pest control, like with pool services in the summertime, you got to go once a week, right? But in the wintertime, you can go twice a month, and you can still charge the same amount. Yeah. Right.
So that's here's a golden nugget for that, because we've helped a few people that do, whether it's landscaping or something of that sort. Mm-hmm. They charge people every time they go, and sometimes they go every 2 weeks, sometimes they go every 3 weeks, sometimes they go every month. And, because they're busy, they have a busy schedule. So I told somebody, I said, why don't you just put a contract and you charge once a month, whether you go once or twice or 3 times, and then you put in the contract that if the grass grows longer or something happens, you get a call, kind of like how pest control does it. And now you're making the same money, you're making predictable money at the end of the month. It's charging automatically. You don't have to ask them to Zelle you. And now you have less hours worked, more money coming in, and customers are happy. And that changed everything.
Did I say pest control?
And guess who that is? That's Kevin.
Yeah.
We're describing Kevin right now.
He's not in pools.
No, I'm saying like from landscaping.
Oh yeah.
We're describing what he did, and now he's making from $30,000 a month. He's making $60,000 a month. He quit his job. He increases profit. We increases profit margin, and also increases income, doubled his income in a matter of a couple of months, because of that.
What about garage door service?
I'm gonna think about Tommy Mello. Like that's the only, that's garage door services.
Yeah.
They're not cheap items.
Yeah.
If at that magnitude, sure. But I think there is better
He
services
does a lot
than
of volume though. A lot of volume.
yeah.
But he
Right.
also
I think
has-
there's better trades than garage door. If it's alone,
get it.
I would not.
Again, I think maybe he just went after. I'm not going to call it low hanging fruit, but I'll call it. I think he went after an industry that he knew he could immediately dominate.
It's unique.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Right. Okay. I said pest control. Pest control companies right now are blowing up.
Yes.
Pest control companies are blowing up right now, and the way that the whole goal for a lot of people with pest control specifically is to structure, scale, and exit. That's what's going on with pest control companies right now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. How about this? We're almost done.
Cleaning service.
Cleaning service. Come on, Sal. That's rough. It's rough. Again, but that's just me.
The
That's
new
my
way
personal
of
opinion.
not
I
the
wouldn't
old way.
discourage anybody.
The new way of cleaning service is where
I don't want to smell your dirty laundry, Sal.
Oh, that's now like I just saw this the other day.
You can pay someone to sniff your
laundry service.
laundry. What?
Mobile laundry service.
people are lazy, man.
Yeah, people pay for convenience. Exactly.
What is it?
All you do is just leave
Uber
your
laundry.
Leave your laundry out in the front
Yes.
door.
Uber laundry.
They come pick it up. They drop it off, all nice, folded and neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there you can find. Right, a solution.
Yeah, but
for.
cleaning services, I don't mean it by the traditional way of like the you just
Residential?
but you do monthly subscriptions like when
Right.
because once you turn it to MRR, monthly recurring revenue, then it's an exitable company. But to do it the traditional way, like whenever you call me or there's no contracts in place and you call me once every few months, that's not gonna cut it.
I got more, so let's keep going. What about marketing? We've had a marketing agency for many, many years.
Yeah, I think as an agency, if you become an agency,
We were an agency. We did logos. We did
but
Google
like a full
AdWords.
stack agency.
Huh?
So a full stack agency. We kind of do this. We are kind of a full stack agency right now. Maybe we don't do the marketing itself. We refer the marketing, but we are technically a full stack agency. So what we do for our clients is we structure their business, and that's what a full stack agency
Website,
does.
logo,
And the structure and the workflow, and that's what we do.
okay. What about media?
I don't know yet. I think that's a dying.
My man Will has a media company going.
I'm not saying that it's not.
I get it, but
beginning
it's
is-
very
it's
hard
not-
to scale.
It's very hard to scale
Very hard to
because you got AI, you got a lot of these things that people can do now.
customers
on their own.
come, customers go. I'll tell you what,
The
Pat Hilton.
churn is super
Pat
high.
Hilton. One month he's like, I love my company. Oh my God. The next, I hate these customers. They cancel after 3 months. So it's like, I'm good, bro.
So churn is high,
Churn is
and
high.
It has one negative side effect.
What?
The kind of individuals that that you deal with
Yeah.
are not most people's cup of tea. So it's not a
Like very,
a walk to the park.
very ego driven.
Yeah.
Got it. What about branding? Just branding, I'm gonna get you. I'll get you into this podcast. I'll get you a book deal. I'll get you, whatever.
That's a
All right.
That's a glorified.
Okay, how about this?
promoter?
Yeah,
That's
promoter.
that's a glorified promoter.
What about your favorite, Sal? Food and beverage.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
I love to eat, but
But
no.
you don't like the net profit margins on
No,
that,
heck
huh?
no.
Yeah, it's
or
pretty bad.
show up at 3 a.m. to cook soup.
I know you would say yes to this one, even though I'm not going to say we have failed miserably, but we have not succeeded. Tech/software.
Tech now the AI tech is the new. So
Okay.
if you're into AI, hang on to that and do something unique with
But it's
it.
so challenging because tech is ever evolving and it's evolving faster and faster. Even
Well,
now
tech
with-
now has a new thing. It's called AI. Like that's the new tech.
All right.
So if you do AI tech, then yeah.
Ready?
IT might be a better.
Last one, Sal. Trucking and logistics. I know they're two different things, but most of the time they kind of are integrated.
It's a tough business for one major reason. Gas prices go up, and like diesel prices, and drivers are very independent. Like
Some of
to
these,
depend- yeah.
what
What
we were
about-
seeing is some of these profit per loads weren't even,
and not just that, like
wasn't
you,
worth it.
and the trucks break down. So if you do it, you have to come with a lot of money, and you have to come prepared with a plan of swapping trucks every X amount of months and buying new trucks. Like you can't just wait for the truck to break down to buy a new truck. You have to actually be proactively working on that. And most truck business owners don't deal with that stuff. So it's a very, very, very tough business.
What about general contracting? I think general contracting is great to do it all.
I agree.
forget a landscaping
yeah.
company. Do it all,
Heck yeah.
right? Do it all.
me. Yeah.
That's a complete like
Do it all.
open door of opportunity.
Yeah, do it all. Not
can
talking
do
about
flooring,
profit
you can-
centers,
Yeah.
right?
All the
Flooring,
profit centers under
cabinets,
that.
granite, roof. I mean, do it all.
Develop. Yeah.
Just do it all, right? Well, yeah, on the real estate side for sure. House flipping, development,
Yeah.
things like that. I think that will always be great business ventures if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? You got to have the business acumen to be able to do those things, or else you can lose pretty big.
Yeah.
Right now, with that being said, here's just to leave somebody as we wind down the show, right? Let me go back to some of the goals that I believe people should just some categories, and maybe we'll continue this round 2 next about goal setting, right? What are some things that you believe are very important for people to start kind of strategizing now for 2026 as far as goal setting for their business? Let's talk business, not even personal. What do you think? Here's what I think. I think the first thing that everybody needs to know, one of the first things that every single business owner out there needs to understand and learn right now, if they don't, is how to read your financials.
That's a good one, yeah.
Sal, I would say it's a little disheartening to say that specifically, right? Like in the Mexican American business community, we work so hard, and a lot of them, a lot of us are actually, we're doing well. We're
Grinding.
We're grinding along. We're moving forward. But when you ask somebody, hey, year to date, like, where's your gross revenue at? I don't know.
How much you make? How much you spend?
What about your operating expenses? What do those fluctuate every month? Right? I don't. What's your net profit? I don't know. See what I'm saying? Like, by the way, 9 out of 10 companies, that's the answer.
Or how many jobs have you done?
I don't
this
know.
year? Yeah.
Right? What's your average project? Like, what's your average sale? What's your average job offer? What's your average ticket? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like the guy earlier, remember?
Yeah.
What I tell him, I say, hey, bro, the guy that's doing about $10 million in, what do you call it? Food trailers, right?
Yeah.
I go, hey, bro, so, what's your top line revenue? He's like, I think we're, be between $9 and $10 million this year. I said, okay, so what's your average trailer? Like, what do you sell your average trailer for? Right. So I can start identifying which one, like what trailer he sells, because he sells, trailers for horses, trailers for food, etc. Right. So I can identify, where he does well.
Yeah.
He said, well, I don't know. Sometimes I sell a $30,000 trailer, or sometimes I sell a $60,000 trailer. I said, well, how about this? Let's just take your overall gross revenue and divide it by the amount of units that you sold this year.
Yeah.
And that will be your average.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Right. So what I'm saying is,
something as simple as that.
if you don't know how to read your financials, right, that's the first thing you should learn.
Yeah.
As far as those metrics, right?
Know your business. Like, I think that's what you like. Know your business overall. Forget the financial side. Just to know your business. Most people know the trade, but they don't know the business. And not knowing the business and what.
But when you say know your business, I'm thinking hiring. I'm thinking marketing. I'm thinking.
Well, know your business,
that.
like in that sense, like how much? What's your average ticket? What's your average sale? What's your average offer? What is a working product that you're selling, and what's not working that you continue to sell and you don't know, but you just keep it because you've had it forever. Like, these things it's part of knowing your business. To know the trade and know exactly how to make it work is one thing, but to know your business is another.
Well, then the framework that I would give somebody is, learn your financials. With that being said, because I would like you to kind of reverse engineer from the top, right?
Yeah, it starts.
What is your revenue, your gross revenue goal for 2026? You get what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to achieve in 2026, right?
Yeah.
For this man, right? Let's just say he's at 9.5, right? He's at 9.5 and he sold 155 trailers, right? I said, oh, what'd you sell? About 155. His average trailer, according to that number, right, is $61,290. So it's like, okay, Carlos, I want to do $15 million next year, which I think it's very, very possible, right?
What'd you say? He's only spending $500 a week on meta ads right now.
$61,290.
$2,000 a month.
That's crazy.
So guess what? Hey, bro. Hey, you want to do $15 million next year, right? We got to move 244 units next year, right? Divide that by 12. All we got to do is move 20 units a month. 20 units a month.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even that,
Right? Like,
if
let's
he ex-
reverse engineer that.
Yeah.
but even that, if he expands into California, where he's saying that same average ticket price could
That would
potentially
be
go up
80,
an additional
85
80,
grand.
20
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah.
For sure.
You may not have to move any more than you're already moving now.
Yeah.
You just have to
higher
do it in a
price.
different location at a higher price or something.
Ideally, by the way, that's what every business owner should seek. Is like, how can I hit my numbers or over exceed my numbers with less work and less units, less manufacturing,
Quality
less
over
employees.
quantity.
I remember we used to be very volume based, right? Now it's like, dude, if you show me how to make $10 million, right, with 100 employees, and then you give me another option, and I can make $10 million with 20 employees, I'm going to take
All
the
day
20
long.
employees all day.
Yeah.
Right? That's the venture
Absolutely.
I want.
And the goal is always should be like increase revenue and decrease expenses. Like if you tackle it from both angles all the time, you might stay the same amount of work,
Yep.
same everything, but you're making more money and you're saving more money. Like you're actually taking home more money.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, for a lot of the business owners that I talk to, right? Is the net profitability that they have.
That was my next
yeah.
goal. My second goal. But go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
continue.
it's like if you don't learn how to make any more money than you're already making for the past 3 years, how can you take home more than you've ever
How
taken
can I
home?
increase the bottom line? Well, I have to intricately, right, look at every single moving part in my business and see where I'm spending, where it's unnecessarily spending, right, or where I'm, where I'm overpaying, or it could be
Or something outdated
It
that
could
you
be a
just have
software
it
you don't
there.
use, right? Like
Yeah.
it could be anything, But right, so just to give somebody simple framework as we wind down the show, right? Revenue goals would be number one, right? What's your annual target? What's your monthly target? What are your weekly KPIs? Again, but you can't hit what you don't measure, so you got to know where you are, right? Don't fly blind. Track your KPIs. So profit goals. That's the second thing I tell people all the time, and I think we were saying this yesterday, right? With our clients that are visiting, I said, hey, if you don't know your profit, like if you don't know your profit margins, right, then this is just a hobby for you. This is like playing baseball, something you do for fun, right? And I get it. We all like what we do, but I think it's a lot better when you know that you're making money doing it. You know what I mean? Because at some point that can become very redundant and stressful. So profit goals, most business owners do chase revenue. What do they say about revenue? Right? Revenue's for vanity. Profit is for sanity. See what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Remember, there's with our BPO company where we, oh my God, we're doing $600,000 a month with this specific thing, and then it's like your net profit is like 8% or something, right? So again, right, what's your current margin versus your target, right? If you're at 15% with whatever, right? First of all, that means your operational health might not be ideal. How can you get it up to 25, 30, 35, 40%? What do you got to do, right? Again, current margin versus the target that you ideally want.
Sure. Trimming the fat.
That's right. Right. Where can I cut expenses? Where can I cut expenses? Like you said, what are some things that I haven't even thought about? When was the last time I actually sat down and dissected every single thing in my business to know what I need and what I don't need?
If you haven't looked into, most businesses don't do that. If some businesses have been in business for like 10 years and they have Frankenstein their business, they have a tool here, a tool there, a tool this, tool that, and they have employees to help them run those little softwares or tools or structure. And now and then 10 years has passed and you look back and you say, well, why do you need these positions? Why do you even need to use that? Let's find technology has evolved. AI is there.
That's right.
Things have definitely evolved. Try to find a system that maybe trimmed down from using 10 different platforms to 2 different platforms or 3 different platforms. And now you don't even need these extra employees to help you run that. And now time is efficient. You're not spending as much money on multiple platforms. And number 3, all your numbers are all in one place rather than you chasing it down. And that's just one thing. That's part of efficiency analysis.
Well, you know what's funny? Before Elon Musk came out with Doge,
Yeah.
right? Department of Department
Government
of
efficiency.
Government Efficiency. We were already running back in 2022 what was called a business efficiency analysis.
Yeah.
BEA.
Yeah.
Business efficiency, because we had to.
Especially in
We had to.
I've been doing this once a year for years.
especially in the
For
blue collar
years.
space.
I never talked about it. I just did it.
Yeah,
For
but that's
some-
what it is.
yeah.
Remember, I was like, oh, bro,
Yeah.
it's a business efficiency
Yeah.
analysis. Before
Yeah.
Doge even became a
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
in 23, 24, I think 24 is when they started like Dogecoin and all kinds
Yeah,
of
I
stuff,
don't
right?
remember when. Yeah.
Anyway, what's
I said, especially in the blue collar space, you probably have a lot of overlapping with some of your team members and some of your crews and stuff, right? And then here's another thing too, like more specifically with the contractors, right? Every time I talk to a contractor, they're out running from this job to this job to this
What a
job,
waste of
picking up
time.
things. It's like, why don't you have one of the crew members that's always there, right? Step away for a second just to go get what they need and come back, right? Or, create. I used to, when I used to work for Nabisco, right before I left, they actually had somebody come and ride with me on a couple of my routes. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, they're counting the steps I'm taking to go load a pallet, and they're counting how many pallets I'm bringing back or how long it's
Were you
taking
pretty
me
good?
Oh yeah,
Well, that's probably why.
Yeah.
They were, bro. They were
They want a
building.
model.
They were building a whole.
Well, yeah, now that I think about it-
around you,
Around me, bro. Yeah,
They were
now that I
modeling
think-
you.
Yeah, now that I think about it, because my 10. Well, why? Because I was
efficient.
I was so efficient because why? I wanted to get out of my 9 to 5 to come and work with you guys.
Yeah.
So a 10-hour route that I would have, or a 9-hour route, I would knock it out in like 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they started following me, and they started meeting me at my stops and everything. And like, how are you getting this done
sense.
so fast?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm like, well, you guys have it routed wrong. This store doesn't open till 3:00, and then you have me going to this one at 4:00.
Yeah.
But this one opens at midnight. I can go here at midnight, and I can be back here. Like,
So you had better logistics than most.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
crazy.
Yeah.
So real quick, something else just to point out what you said earlier, right? Pricing strategy, right? How can I increase my profit? What about that? Again, your pricing strategy that will increase hopefully your top line, right? Look what happened with Surge, one of the demo companies that we helped. We said, hey brother, when was the last time that you adjusted your pricing? Oh, it's been 5 years, bro. Eggs have gone up. You know what I mean? Like milk is twice as much. You're not going to charge like $1 more per square foot. And then eventually he did. And then eventually he doubled his revenue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even a pricing strategy, just taking a look at that, and there's multiple kind of angles when it comes to that, because, right. Just like we were talking yesterday with immediate fire protection, we were like, hey, well, your real cost is this. If you want to just get your foot in the door, you can run specials. You
Yeah.
can reduce the pricing to be, to have an edge over everybody else, right? So, because eventually what you're really looking for, right, is for them to be lifetime customers.
An
right?
opportunity.
That's right. Yeah. So it could go either or, right? Okay, real quick. Let's go into try to eliminate low profit services, right? Unless it leads to bigger ticket items. And here's the last couple things that I'm going to say, right? Profit goals. Okay, we're done there. People goals. Here's what I'm going to say. It's like, dude, trim the fat. Trim the fat, man. Like either you build an A team, or you're going to sink. You build an A team, right? But see, it takes good leadership to know. Like, this person shouldn't be here. This person shouldn't be here. This person shouldn't be here. It's this person needs to, I like his character, but they're either a coach up or a coach out, right? So I'm talking about personnel now, like people goals, personnel goals. You don't need, again, you know what happens when you have bad employees? You need a lot of them.
You need
right?
more bad employees.
You
get the work done.
You have to hire more bad employees. So instead of me having like a team with 5 to 10 people that can generate X amount of revenue, I got to go and get 15 to 20 because I have so many. But then again, that falls down on who? Us as leaders.
I just remember, I just really like pictured when you said more bad employees and like
We had them.
I'm picturing like these little cartoon characters, like they're all like wee.
By the way,
wee, like all
Sal,
like
they
there's
start
a lot
Sal,
of them.
Start spreading.
Sal, do you not remember? Like we used to do that. man, we're paying this guy, $6,000 a month for this, and he's not doing his job. That's okay. Hire somebody else.
Hire somebody to help
Hire
him.
someone to help him.
Yeah. He's a plant. Now we have 2 plants.
Exactly.
They're like gremlins. If you just
Right.
sprinkle water on them, they multiply.
Coach up or coach out, right? Who needs development?
Yeah.
Right. Character, right? Over skill set. I always say that. Character over skill set.
You can
I
train
can
skill
develop
set.
character. I can develop someone who has character. I can develop in the skill set side of things, right? But it's hard for me to develop character.
Yeah.
Right. So character, who needs development? Who must be removed ASAP, right? So again, here's an old saying: you don't scale companies, you scale people. In the people scale the companies, right? Yeah. All right. So real quick, this is your cup of tea as we wind down. System goals, right? What must be automated? What must be documented? Where are you relying too much on the human factor? How's that? That's what you're just saying, right? What software or workflow upgrades are needed? Systems build freedom. Chaos, the lack of systems, kills momentum. Yes?
Amen.
All right. Well, and then here's at the end of the day, leadership, right? Health, health, habits, environment, discipline. Like we always say, right? The business will never outperform the people that are leading it.
Yeah.
The business will not outperform the people that are leading it. I remember with the specific person that we've been dealing with recently, right? Where I said, how do you expect this person to build a $10 million company? Yeah. Because that company has done north of $10 million in a year. They can't. You'd be surprised. I mean, what is their ceiling, right? Yeah. $2-3 million. Yeah. Because that's just that's just who they are.
Yeah.
So with that being said, any exit words before we?
Yeah. When it comes to the personnel, right? It's just like being an athlete, I always look at it as a sport, right? Business is a sport, and you're always only as good as the worst player on your team, right? So training in every aspect is always very important. And then me being, a salesman is train on sales in every department. I think every department can benefit from some sort of sales training for just simple communication, customer service, things like that. That'll help your business grow tremendously.
No sale?
No scale.
No scale. With that being said, we'll see you next week.